Hello YouTube friends, Dr. Teresa Ulrich here again. I'm getting ready to feed the seahorses. I have some very fresh, newly hatched, decapsulated brine shrimp. I haven't even enriched it yet, but I know because decapsulated brine is very nutritious. It's a lot of the young still have their yolks attached. It gives them a little bit more nutrition. I'm going to put this in here. And thought you just might enjoy watching the seahorses get very animated. Oops. It's hard to record while using one hand and capturing everything as closely as possible. Let's take a look. Oh, you can see them starting to move around, and look at that. They are seeing the brine shrimp and they are snipping at it. Let's see if we can get a different angle here. See how they take their snout and they do what's called a little snick. It's really hard to see the baby brine shrimp in the video. Sorry about the dog barking. It's really hard to see the brine shrimp in the video, but the seahorses can definitely see them, and look at that. They are going crazy eating the shrimp. Normally the seahorses are very serene, they're relaxed, sometimes they'll swim around leisurely, but when food's been added to the tank, they suddenly become alive. Much more animated, perked. One thing that I did learn in my previous video, I mentioned that I didn't think that I could take a single hatch of decapsulated brine shrimp and spread it out over the course of a week, but I may have to reevaluate that because I was surprised with that very little left that I had of my previous batch. It went a long way, so there was more shrimp in there than I thought. And plus I'm going to be supplementing with copepods pretty soon, so maybe between the copepods and the brine shrimp, I might be able to get away with one hatch per week. I think another thing that was different too, being my first hatch and reusing an old vessel, getting it going and working order again may have played a factor with my hatch rate, because it seems like my hatch rate this second time around is much higher, which will also play a factor. But like I said, it's one big experiment. You can see in different parts of the tank, there are seahorses everywhere. There are actually 8 dwarves in this little 2-gallon or 2.5-gallon aquarium, which was a nice surprise because the vendor I purchased them from, I ordered 6 and he included 8. I'm guessing it's because it will account for any losses in shipping. Luckily I didn't have any. As I mentioned, the seahorses looked a little thin when they first arrived, but they are quickly gaining weight, which is great. Another thing I'm noticing that shows that they're becoming healthier, you'll notice more males when they haven't had a lot of food in a recent amount of time. their pouches will shrink up and it will be hard to tell that they're males. And these seahorses, the males, their pouches are starting to fill out again, which is a sign that they're fattening up nicely. So peaceful to watch, isn't it? You might notice that in addition to the cartridge filter that I have in the tank, I also have a very tiny sponge filter going. I'll talk more about that in an upcoming video that I'm going to be doing when the copepods arrive and I prepare their tank for them, and just share some of my thoughts and plans regarding that. Anyway, I hope you found this relaxing and enjoyable. Sorry about the terrible camera angles and different body parts getting in the way. As I said, it gets really hard to manipulate everything using one hand. Normally I can just lift the lid and the light with one hand and then add the food with the other hand, but wasn't able to do that in this case because I was holding onto the camera. Well, I hope you're enjoying this chronicle of seahorses, and I am looking forward to sharing many more videos as we start watching their antics.